Hello and welcome to Slay the Spire. This will be a Let's Play series running alongside my current Skyrim Let's Play series as well. This Let's Play series should be coming out on a daily basis, as well as actually doing the daily challenges, which I look forward to bringing to the channel. If you haven't caught this game so far, it's a pretty interesting game. If you imagine Hearthstone and the Binding of Isaac are the baby, this would be it, it'd be Slay the Spire. It's still technically in early access at the moment. As it stands, it's currently March the 13th, 2018. It was released in sort of late 2017. It's a pretty unique roguelike card game. But let's leap in. I feel like the best way to describe this game is to actually show the gameplay being played. It's quite unless you played a lot of roguelikes, it's a fairly difficult game to understand sort of theoretically. Let's hop in. Like I mentioned, as of the date today, the daily climb has actually been implemented into the game. This is a really cool daily challenge which will be really good for the content for the channel. It's essentially a daily climb with modifiers added in which get recycled each day to different things. But the first few episodes I'll just be playing in standard mode the first few episodes I want it to be more of a educational thing for anyone who hasn't seen the game or if this is the first you've seen of the game here. For those who've played the game before, I apologise. If you want to skip these first couple of episodes, it's going to be quite sort of explainy and that sort of stuff. The later on we get into the series, the more chilled and relaxed it will be. The more we'll just get into sort of just playing the game as is. But yeah, we'll hop into the standard mode. So in terms of the characters you can select, we've currently got 3 characters which are shown. One's locked at the minute. I believe that's going to be coming out soon once early access finishes, which I think is sometime this month if I read that right. I read that on a page at some point. We've got 2 for now. Each character has its own unique set of starting cards and also its unique starting relic, so we'll hop in and we'll see what it looks like. We'll be played as the Ironclad for this first run. Second run we'll be picking up the Silent. The Ironclad is the last remaining soldier of the Ironclad's clan, I assume. He sold his soul to harness demonic energies. His stats are, he starts with 80 HP, 99 gold, which is the starting gold's the same for both of them, but 80 HP is 10 more than the other character, which is the Silent. And his starting relic is Burning Blood. He, at the end of combat, heals 6 HP. The Silent doesn't heal HP. So the Ironclad is more of the tanky archetype build, heals the HP, should be all good in that aspect, and the Silent is not. We'll quickly have a look at the Silent now, just in terms of a bit of foresight into the next episode. The Silent starts at 70 HP, 99 gold again. His Deadly Huntress from the Foglands, eradicates foes with daggers and poison. Her starting relic is the Ring of Snake. At the start of each combat she draws 2 additional cards, so her archetype is more of a lots of draw, lots of discard, lots of poison, that sort of stuff. The Silent is probably a more technical character than the Ironclad is, but the Ironclad is a bit more simple and can be very fun if you use the right decks. We're going to leave off Ascension. That's essentially a boss level harder mechanic to the game. We'll leave that off for now. We'll go with the normal run here. So we'll embark into the run. Here we go, and we're face to face with a whale. Now, if you've not played Slay the Spire before, first time I played it I was pretty confused. Now if you pick up this game for the first time on Steam, and it's currently about £12 English money, that is Great British pounds, it'll be varying different values of different currencies. He won't give you anything. The only reason I've got this is because I've played the game quite a lot and I've had a run before where I got to a certain boss, so if you played the game before, he will give you a starting perk. Let's have a quick look at the cards. We start off with the Ironclad. We start off with your basic strikes, 5 of those. Start off with 4 basic defends, and also a special card called Bash. Here's where we introduce the concept of status effects. So you'll see on the Bash card we deal 8 damage and also apply 2 vulnerable as well. That status effect, there's a few different statuses in the game. Vulnerable means that the enemies, when they get vulnerable, any additional attacks after that initial attack deal 50% more damage. So common example is Bash then Strike. Bash will do 8 damage, apply the 2 vulnerable, so that's a vulnerable for 2 turns. It doesn't stack, so applying more vulnerable in the same turn doesn't get you additional damage, it just means it lasts for more turns. So vulnerable for 2 turns, so they take 50% more damage for 2 turns rather than 100% more damage for 1 turn. I got confused in that aspect when I first played the game, as I sort of pointing that out. And then when you play the strike, rather than deal 6 damage, it'll now deal 9 damage because the 50% more damage at the start. So starting with these, let's have a look what the whale's got for us. So we can remove a card from our deck. Could do, not really seeing its use at the moment. I think the Ironclad starting deck is pretty solid. We could gain 8 max HP, which I take quite a lot. I do love increasing the HP pool on the Ironclad. We could obtain a curse or obtain a curse and transform 2 cards. So these bottom 2 tend to be better, but you also get a negative effect as well. So it's nice and clearly shown negative effects in red, positive effects in green, as I say throughout the game. Now, obtaining the curse and transforming 2 cards. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how that's going to pan out. Transforming cards is definitely a risk-reward situation. It can be amazing. You could get two cards transformed from something that's terrible into something that's amazing, or you could transform 2 cards and get something that's just not fit to your deck whatsoever. And you can lose the starting relic, which would be the Burning Blood, and obtain a boss relic. I'm not a great fan of this, especially for new players. If you're a new player, I'd definitely stray away from this one. The healing's very nice. It gets you through the game quite easily. If you're a returning player and you want a bit of risk in your game, why not? Why not? Yeah. Take out the starting relic, obtain a random boss relic. The only thing about boss relics in this game is that it's one of the issues I have with the game. The game's fantastic. I absolutely love the game, but there's a few little nitpicks in the game which I'll pick up as I go through. The boss relics are one of them. In my opinion, boss relics should always exclusively be positive, because you've beat a boss to get it, really. But in this game, they're not. A lot of them have a negative effect and a positive effect, which is a bit counterintuitive, and especially for losing the relic, which is definitely going to be a positive effect, but maybe something that's going to be negative towards your run. I don't really see the benefit in that, but I mean, if there's something I'm missing, let me know in the comments. But as far as I know, it's not the best thing you can pick. So, as you probably guessed, I'm going to go for the plus 8 max HP. Let's get straight into this run. This is a roguelike game, which means that you have to get from A to B without dying, and you either have no healing or limited healing depending on the game. This game gives you limited healing, and the healing can come in 3 ways. So this is the Ironclad. We can either heal 6 at the end of each combat, which always happens. We can heal at these sites, which if you look on the legend here is the rest sites. You can heal there, as it says in the little description there, or you can upgrade a card if you don't need to heal. The only way to heal is to beat the boss at the end of the act, the 3 acts in each run, and that heals you back up to full. Unless you get to Ascension 5, as I've got to, and it doesn't ever heal you back up to full, it just heals a portion of your HP, which is pretty brutal, but we'll get to that, I'm sure, episode 700 down the run, but for now we'll concentrate on this. The other rooms you've got merchants, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can buy cards, potions, and relics. Potions are pretty easy to follow, we'll get to that in a second. Treasures are straight up just, you get to a room, it's a treasure chest, you get a relic from that, nice and easy. Enemies, again nice and easy, and elites are mid-bosses or mini-bosses if you want to call them as well. Okay, I think the basic structure's down for the game. You pick a path, pick your way through up to the top, fight the boss. You want to pick your way up through 3 acts. If you beat the final boss, you get a score at the end. Then that score you got to try and beat next time. There's not really much point to these roguelike games, but weirdly they give the most sense of fun out of a lot of games that I play. So let's pick a run. I always tend to find it easiest to start from the top and work your way down. On non-ascension, the easiest way to beat, if you're having trouble beating the game in the first place, if you're looking this for a tutorial, you might be. You probably shouldn't be, because it's more of a let's play than a tutorial. But if you are looking for a tutorial, I'd say pick your way from top to bottom to choose your path. If you're struggling to beat the game really badly, I'd just avoid all the mini bosses. Just straight up avoid as many mini bosses as you can. Choose as many rest sites and as many question marks as you can, and just avoid most of the fights. It's probably the safest way to do it. Is it fun? Not really, but it's the most effective way, I think, personally, in my opinion. So let's have a look. So we've got a mini boss we can fight here. We're probably going to fight a couple, just to make the run a little bit more interesting. But we always like a shop near to the end. Gives us a chance to build up a little bit of money from fighting enemies. We could pick our way down here, maybe fight this boss here. treasure chest. Let's see how it goes. I fancy taking a couple of question marks at the start, so I'll take this run and then go up to the first left path. Perfect, so this is our first fight. Nice and easy. We've got a single enemy. You can see our HP is now increased to 88 because of the perk that we took from the Mystic Whale. He's dealing 11 damage. Because we heal 6 damage at the end of every combat, we can afford to take 6 damage, it's not a problem. So what we'll do is, we'll just play nice and safe. 2 defense and a strike. Always try and keep some damage ticking over every turn. And as long as you don't take more than 6 damage in the fight, you're pretty golden as the Ironclad. I mean, if you don't take more than 6 damage in every single fight, obviously you'll beat the game with full health. But let's have a look. We're gonna let ourselves take 2 here, and then bash, and we'll see the vulnerables appear to stand out at the bottom, and that's going to give us another 50% additional damage for another 2 turns coming. Now, before we get too far into the game, let me just initially point out, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I'm a pro at this game. Definitely not. I just really enjoy the game, and I thought I'd just bring it to the channel just because I feel like the more exposure this game gets, the better it's going to be, the more money they're going to have to put into development, and the more they can keep ongoing support with the game. As it goes forward in the future, they can have more modes like the daily mode and everything like that. So we beat him. As you see at the end there, we get gold every time we beat an enemy, and we can also add additional cards to our deck. So, ooh, now this is tempting. This is tempting. I did promise myself I wasn't going to go for an exhaust deck on the first run, to try and keep it simple for new players that are watching. But that's tempting, man. That is tempting. The exhaust deck can get pretty wild, I'm not going to lie. It can get to the point when even you don't really know what's happening. The spot weakness is pretty solid. Pretty solid no matter what. The sword boomerang is okay as well. Ah, as much as it pains me, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to go for a spot weakness. Probably most likely the wrong decision, but yeah. There's a card called Corruption. If you can combine that with, I mean, it's quite situational. You do have to get quite a few different relics and stuff to make it really work properly. But yeah. This is our first question mark room. Not a great one. So the question mark rooms, if you give you a kind of a situation like this, a treasure chest or a fight, this situation is not ideal. We don't really want to remove a card. We're not really feeling that. We've only just started. We want all the cards we've got, so we'll just leave that for now. Could take the shop. We haven't got much money, and I'd rather not take the shop at the moment. I think we're going to carry on with the question marks. Oh, definitely want to upgrade a card. Now, we could either upgrade the bash. That upgrades it to 10 damage and 3 vulnerable. Or we can upgrade the spot weakness to take that and take it up to 4. Ah, tough one. I'm feeling the bash. The cards can only be upgraded once, by the way, for new players. It's just a one upgrade, so you don't need to sort of worry about upgrading them more than one time. We'll take that. I mean, it's more damage and it's also more vulnerable, which is obviously more damage from other cards later down the line. Now, I don't feel like I did a thorough job explaining the combat in the first game, but I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory. You get a given amount of enemies, they each have their own mechanic. The mechanic with these enemies, I'll try and explain each mechanic as we go through for each different enemy. There are a quite good number, to be fair, but actually randomised enemies. There's enemies unique to each floor, and you won't normally tend to meet the same enemy more than once a floor. Definitely not more than twice. You might meet the same one twice, but it tends not to be more than once. The mechanic with this enemy, which is called the louse, when you hit them, they'll curl up into a ball and they'll gain however much block it says down here. So on attack, they'll roll up and gain 3 blocks. Essentially, this one at the front has got 17 block, and the one at the back has got 17 health and 19 health. The one at the back. The block in Slay The Spire, like a lot of effects, will fade after one turn. I'll try and show you that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to spot weakness to get our strength rolling. So now we've got 3 strength. Strength is permanent. Strength lasts for the whole game. And then we're going to block twice, so we only take 2 damage. Now hypothetically, if we say we blocked for 15, there and we took 12 damage, even though we have 3 blocks at the end of the turn, we still lose that block at the end of the turn. There is a card as the Ironclad that lets you keep the block called Barricade, but in most normal situations you'll lose block at the end of every turn. So if you're looking to block, the ideal turn or the move would be to block the exact right amount essentially. So you want to block for 12 if they're dealing 12, just for the sake of mana and optimization. As you saw there, when we hit him, he gained 3 blocks. So with these ones, what you tend to want to do is, as a general rule of thumb, you want to that was a wrong move. I shouldn't have played the block. That was instinct. But you want to essentially hit them and then leave them for a turn, because the block will fade after that one turn anyway. So you want to hit them and leave them. Bit of knockador run, just for the memes. We'll spot weakness and then we'll bash for 16 damage, and we heal the 6 HP. Take the gold. We've got 3 cards here. True Grit, we can gain 7 block, but exhaust a random card in the deck. Exhaust in this game is a mechanic where the card will disappear for the whole of that combat. So for the whole of that fight, you'll no longer be able to play that card. It'll go into a dead pile. You do get back, but you do get it back next turn. And thinking about it, this deck would have. Oh, sorry. The card selection we've had so far would have gone so well with the Feel No Pain in the Exhaust deck, which I'm a little bit sad about, I'm not going to lie, but we'll move on. We'll take Sentinel. It's essentially another block, but with the side effect that if we do get it exhausted, we get 2 mana, which is never a bad thing. I'll just keep explaining little bits as we go along, so we're not jamming you with too much information straight away. We don't need to heal 22 HP, and we don't want to remove a card, and we want to keep all of our gold, so we'll leave this geezer for later. He can be useful, but we just don't want him now. It's basically what a lot of this game is. You just got to try and think, is it useful for me at the moment? Is it not? You can always skip cards, you don't have to get a card. You can always take as little or as much as you like. You can heal as much as you like. You can choose to just skip over healing altogether at rest sites if you want to. And what we got here, we've got 18 damage, so we want to block once to take the 1 damage, and then strike twice. We want to get that enemies down to that magic 18 health, and then hope that you draw 3 strikes on your next turn, so you kill them. And we haven't drawn 3 strikes, but he's still vulnerable, so we're still dealing 19 damage. A cool feature in this game, if you haven't spotted it already, is even though the card says 6 damage, because he's vulnerable and he's taking 50% more, once you actually hover it over the enemy, it will change for you. So you have to sort of do constant mental mass in your head for the whole fight, but knock him down there. Now we'll definitely take the Thunderclap here. It's a bit of AoE damage, and it also applies some vulnerable as well. It's getting those enemies nice and soft, so we can beat them up that much easier. What I'll do, I'll show you a rest site. We've seen the question mark and the enemies so far. So now here's where we can rest or we can smith. We have literally no value in resting, so we'll not do that. It just heals your HP, nothing special to that. But the smithing, we can upgrade a card. I want to upgrade the Spot Weakness. With the increased strength and that increased damage output on the Ironclad, it's pretty solid. Okay, so we've got the Louses again. It's a bit unusual to get them so soon on the same run. You're almost messing up my commentary here, Louses, and contradicting what I said earlier about only meeting people once on typically per run. But I promise there is more enemies than this. We will Thunderclap because this hits all enemies, and we'll be able to get the curl up on all enemies nice and easy. And then we'll just block 2, so we only take 1 damage, but we're healed off at the end of the fight anyway. I'm hoping we get the Thunderclap rolled back into the deck again, because that would be pretty perfect. I mean, AoE against these guys it just shreds them. So now what do we have? We have Spot Weakness, some strikes and some defense. We've got 11 damage coming in. We could just defend twice again and drag for 6. Or we could try and look into killing one. So we could Spot Weakness, strike, kill this one, and then block, so we actually take no damage rather than 1 damage before. It's just about looking at your cards and just trying to optimize the amount of damage you're taking and optimize the amount of damage you're outputting. Boom. Nice and easy. So what cards we've got this time? Bludgeon. 3 mana, but you deal a huge 32 damage. As tempting as that card sounds, I've tried to use it a lot, and the 3 mana is a bit too much on the Ironclad. He doesn't have a good way of getting mana, if I'm being honest, and using all of your mana on 1 turn is not ideal. We are going to skip. I just straight up don't like power through. I've tried to use it a few times. You might be able to get it working in certain decks. There's probably a few synergies you can make work, but I just straight up don't like it. Not a card for me. Intimidate is okay, but we want to try and keep, or at least I think in this game, you want to try and keep a nice thin deck. You don't want to overpopulate your deck because it means the cards you actually do want that don't come around as quick. Sundial. Every time you shuffle your deck, gain 2 mana. Not very nice relic. We'll definitely take that one. So every now and then, once your draw pile is being cycled through, you'll head into the discard pile that gets shuffled back into your draw pile, and then you'll be able to play the cards. So every 3 times that happens, you'll get 2 mana from the Sundial. Now these beasties, this is our first mini-boss, our first elite of the game. These are called, I'm really bad with the names of these characters by the way, these are called the Sentries. Their special effect is called Strategic, and their negative effect is that when they're using a negative effect, they'll shuffle 2 dazed cards into your hand. These dazed cards are unplayable and they exhaust themselves at the end of the turn, but it basically just clogs your deck up with a lot of random stuff you don't really want to play. So we'll play the block, we'll play the other block, and we'll strike. These characters always follow a pattern. The first and third will always synchronize together. So the first and third will at first shuffle 2 days into your hand after each turn, and then after that they'll both attack, and then the one will shuffle days into your hand, and it just rinse and repeats from there. The only other thing they have, which is special, well not special, that a few enemies have it, but they have a artifact ability which negates 1 negative debuff, which means Thunderclap will not make the vulnerable, which is a bit annoying. We'll play our only block we've got, and then we'll Thunderclap just to take off all those artifacts, so we've got the ability to weaken them in future with a Thunderclap again. And we'll be taking 11 damage. So our first fight where we've took over 6 damage, so you'll actually see me not on full HP. We don't have any block again. We could card draw to try and see if we can get some block. But if I'm being completely honest, I'm not overly bothered about not having any block at the moment. We'll spot weakness and then we'll bash. Get this front guy nice and tender for a little bit of a roasting later. So yeah, are we hoping to put all these out daily? Doing daily challenges because I think they're really interesting. Straight up just shred that guy, and then we'll block twice, just because we took a fair amount of damage already, and I want to limit that. I don't want it to run away with me. A problem I have in this game is that once I start taking damage, I start to have the mentality of, oh, we'll take a bit more damage, and just that builds up over time, and then eventually you get to the final boss, and you will have like sort of 70% of your HP, and you'll just get slaughtered. So it's a good idea to try and keep as much HP as possible. If you're enjoying this series, definitely also try and check out my Skyrim Let's Play if that's off. Oh, this hand though. Amazing. Let's try and... oh, are you kidding me? You joking? Well, Not ideal, not gonna lie. But at least we do get, what is that, 8 days? 8 days exhausted from the from our hand. And we've only got another 5 days in our hand by the looks of it from our draw and discard and the amount of cards we actually do have in our deck at the top. So this guy's dead. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I've totally lost track of what I was saying, but let's get some more strength and kill this guy. Now we've got the options. We've got Disarm, Havoc, and Second Wind. Disarm, pretty decent. We've got enemies lose 2 strength, we can exhaust it. Again, these card choices would have been great for an exhaust deck. Definitely regretting that. But Havoc is, in my opinion, straight up just not a good card. And again, I've already told you about Second Wind. I just don't like that card. I'm going to take the Disarm. It can be very useful at some points in the game just to try and reduce the enemy's damage output if you're in a tight situation. Oh, we also got the Anchor. Sorry about that. I completely missed that. Just kind of skipped over that. The Anchor, at the start of each combat, we gain 10 block. It's early on the first turn. It's not at the start of every turn. But it's just useful. It just means you can do something like this for free. And you've just got 10 blocks, so you can soak up that damage pretty easy. What do we have? We have a Thunderclap, I think, for sure. And I think a block and a strike. We maybe shouldn't have done that. Thinking back, we probably shouldn't have made ourselves vulnerable. But it's all good. We've got the extra mana from the Sundial. 3 turns of shuffling. So we can play all of our cards. Take no damage and dish out some pretty huge damage on the counterflow. Nice and easy. Nice and easy, prisoner. Ooh. What? Cards which deal small amounts of damage on multiple instances with strength is outrageous, because this damage number goes up with your strength, and then you actually end up dealing 10 damage from four times, and it's 40 damage, and you just shred through people like it's nothing. The True Grit, I don't like it unless it's upgraded, and the Pommel Strike is just a solid card all around. I think I'm going to go for the card draw. It's nice that you can just sort of intertwine the card draw with a bit of damage as well. So taking 7 damage, we've got the 10 block from the Anchor. No need to do any defense there. Get that 3 vulnerable off on the enemy, nice and easy. This guy, he has a negative effect. Every time he hits you in this, the sort of effects floating around it, he'll make you weakened, which means that your attacks now deal less damage, which, as you can see there, the number changes into a red number rather than a white number, and if your attack damage is buffed, it'll be green rather than white. It's pretty simplistic the way they've implemented the colours between the different aspects of the game. It's synergized everywhere. That the white is neutral, the green is always a positive effect, and the red's always a negative effect. What do we have? Do we have lethal? We can get 4 strength, deal 14 damage, and finishing with a Thunderclap. We're slowly regenerating back up as well, back towards full. Some pretty solid cards. We've got 3 all new cards here. We've got Shrug It Off, gain 8 block, draw 1 card. That is always a solid card. I mean, that's 1 mana. It's pretty free. The Headbutt, deal 9 damage and place 1 card from the discard pile on top of your draw pile. That's very useful to try and sort of get some specific cards that you want next turn. Warcry, that's all you need to know about Warcry. Warcry really is a pretty substandard card, in my opinion anyway. I mean, what do I know about video games? But ooh, this is our first shop we've got. Shops are always laid out like this. You've got the 5 cards on top. You got 2 white cards bottom left, and you've got a card removal service in case you get any curses and things like that you want to take out of your deck. We haven't come across any curses yet, but we'll come to that as we go through. And then you've got some relics you can buy down here. We haven't got enough money to buy many of them, unfortunately. We've got the Mercury Hourglass at the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. A Whetstone upon pickup, upgrade 2 random attacks. The Mercury Hourglass is pretty good, that's a bit meh. And the Gremlin Horn is straight up amazing. Every time the enemy dies, you deal, so you gain 1 mana and draw a card as well. Unfortunately, we haven't got the money for that. What I'm looking at is these 2 cards for our deck that we're building into. True Grit again, I'm not really a fan unless it's upgraded. Hemokinesis is pretty solid, but it takes a deck around it to make it work. Apotheosis is arguably the strongest card in the game. It upgrades all the cards to all the rest of the combat, so I mean that is, it goes without saying, that is strong. I'm on the fence whether to get the Flex and the Metallicize, and maybe even the Madness as well. That is a good card, especially when upgraded. That's basically it turns it into a free spell, and it makes the card that you get free as well. Or the Apotheosis. Ooh, I'm gonna go Flex, Metallicize, and Madness. I felt that was the wrong play. I don't know, man. Might have been the wrong play. We get to spin the wheel. 50-50 chance. We've got 3 positives, which are these 3 negatives. You've got gain max health, take some damage, or praise be to Lord Jesus. We've got a gift. This is the best one you can get. You just straight up get a relic, and we've got the gambling chip. Let's go. Gambling chip at the start of each combat. Discard any number of cards and draw that many as well. Pretty solid. I mean, drawing cards and discarding the cards that you want at the start of combat is always going to be a solid option. We're fighting the giant blob, even though it always reminds me of a mushroom with this little stalk on the bottom. I do really want to upgrade the Madness, and we do heal after this combat. I'm going to play it slightly risky. I'm going to upgrade the Madness, and we're going to fight the boss. I could live to regret this decision, but we'll live on the edge. And we've got the gambling chip. We can discard the Shrug It Off because we're getting 10 block at the start anyway. There's no point having the Shrug It Off. And I think we will discard the Madness as well. Perfect. We've got strength. We've got strength. We'll pop the regen. Why not? So I did say we'll come back to potions. Potions are definitely a aspect in the game where you want to save them to try and save them for the right moment, but you also don't want to over-save them as well. You don't want to like sort of not play potions ever, because then you get to the point where on the side note, this is also a great hand for us, which is actually terrible. But yeah, you don't want to sort of underplay them as well, because then you'll end up getting 3 potions and you could have played a potion when you basically get an extra potion. This is also a terrible hand. We're going to play our block potion, play defend, play metallicize for that maximum block, and do some damage. Only taking 15. It's not the end of the world. We do have the regen potion going as well for another 2 turns. And more importantly, we've got the 4 strength. I think there are around about 5 or 6 different potions in the game. Some are pretty good, some are average. This enemy's special mechanic is he will split at 50% HP, so at 70 HP this enemy will split into 2 different enemies and all of his effects you've got on him will disappear. So if you play in a deck like this where you're going to put some weak on him, some vulnerable on him, and you think you're going to take it over across the next 2 enemies, that's not the case. Let me just work out how much we got. So we got to deal another 23 damage to take him down. This is 14 plus... What's that? 14 plus 12, that's 26. That will take him down. So what we want to do, we don't want to take him down. We want to take him to 79 and play a block. You want to try and get him down as low on HP as possible. So what I'm hoping for next turn is I'm hoping we get just ass loads of attacks, which we haven't got. We can flex. We got some card draw. We interrupted whatever he was doing before. So before he was charging up to do a big attack. Now he's charging to split into two different ones. We might as well shrug it off to get another bit of card draw. And we have luckily got a strike, so we can get down a little bit more. Like, the biggest thing with this enemy is if you leave him on 70 HP and he splits into two, you've then just created a 140 damage enemy, which is just infinitely worse. I mean, like, even just a point of damage on him there, as much damage as you can to try and get him down as far as possible is the way to play it, in my opinion. 16 damage, that's pretty hefty. We'll block twice and we'll get off a strike. And these two sub-ones will... Pretty sure I ended turn, thank you. These two sub-ones will even take... We'll even split into two as well. Side note, I don't think I actually explained the metallicize. So when I took some cards in the shop, I took Flex, which gives you 2 strength for a turn, but fades off after that turn. And I took metallicize as well, which at the end of each turn means you gain 3 blocks. So say if I played no block this turn, which I don't have any block because this game is very kind to me, but I'll get 3 block anyway, so he'll only deal 8 damage. I want to madness, and oh, we got the free spot weakness. That is nice. So now got 8 damage, and what I'm going to do is we attack the second one twice, because 1, it'll put him on 1 HP, and 2, it won't attack me anymore. He'll try and split into two different enemies, and hopefully we should get the thunderclap next turn. We haven't seen it in a while. I think this sundial is activated as well. Oh, beautiful. We've got the sundials, we've got 2 extra mana, and we've got the free spot weakness as well. We've got a flex, that's 14 strength, and then just hit this guy in the face. Easy 30 damage. It's going pretty well so far. We've got 102 gold, and we've got our special rare card we can choose from. We've got Bludgeon, we've got Double Tap, and we've got Berserk. Bludgeon is pro memes, but not great in my opinion. We've got Double Tap, which is amazing, especially that upgraded. It means that you play your next 2 attacks twice rather than your next 1 attack, which is pretty solid. And Berserk, when you fall below 50% HP, you start each turn with one more energy or mana, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I'm torn, man. I'm definitely torn. The Double Tap would be amazing if you double tap Bash, especially on the turn if you can activate Sundial. I'm going to go with a Double Tap. Okay, and after we defeat the bosses, we get a choice of a boss relic, which is, well, to be expected. This is actually a perfect example where I can show my not complete support of the way they've implemented boss relics in this game. Even though it's a brilliant game and I've put a lot of time into it, I can still obviously critique the game in certain aspects. We've got White Beast statue, which is actually it's a pretty good relic. At the end of each combat, we get a guaranteed potion drop. That's just a pretty solid relic. We've got Sozu. Gain 1 amount at the start of each turn. Mint, we'll take that. But you can no longer obtain potions. It's just that negative effect. It's a bit hard to swallow, especially when you just defeat the boss and you think, "Ah, right, I'm going to get the best relic going. It's going to be sick." You get one that's not very great, and this one's just a straight up nightmare of a card. Gain 1 energy, but you can only see enemies' intent, so you can't see if they're going to attack, if they're going to do special effects, if they're going to be blocking, anything like that. I mean, if you're a seasoned veteran at the game, you might be able to know the pattern of what they're going to do, but it's just not good in my opinion. This can be okay if you're not bothered about potions. And it could even fit with a double tap because that's just an extra mana. I'm going to go for Sozu. Controversial, but I like a bit of risk. I like a bit of risk in my runs. If you haven't got a bit of risk, then where's the fun? Okay, start from the top, work our way down. We've got some campfires. You always get a campfire before the boss. Got another campfire we can get here. Some question marks. I do love a good question mark room. Keeps the mystery in the relationship between Slay the Spire and the player. Got some campfires, got some elites. I'm quite liking the look of a lot of enemies on this route here, up until this chest. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, that's an elite, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm liking the look of skipping that first elite. I'm going to take the middle path and head maybe to the shop, maybe not. See where our head's at when we get there. What we're getting 15 incoming. I think we're going to replace these 2 strikes. Hopefully get some defense. Oh, madness. That's not too bad. And we got the free bash. Bash is free for the rest of the game. That is what I like to see. We'll spot weakness on any of them. Get that 4 strength going. Thunderclap. Defend, so we've got complete block. And hit them. These enemies are really interesting. These enemies actually have multiple mechanics to them. So, firstly, when they are flying in the air, they take half damage. So even though my bash technically did 20 damage, we only dealt 10. They deal, it's not really a mechanic, but it's a cool aspect of the character. They deal very small amounts of damage, but over loads of instances. If you can get something like Flame Barrier, which we might see later on in the run, that just wrecks them straight away. And the last one is that if they take 3 attacks when they're flying, they will drop down to the ground, and they'll no longer be able to attack that turn, and they also lose their half damage reduction. So you can hit them for full damage. Played the Metallicize there, just to make sure we get the full block. I mean, we didn't actually have any attack cards to play, which is disappointing. The reason I went with Sozo as well, in case you were wondering, is because we've already got some good synergy with some more energy gain here. We've got some more energy here, and then we've also got the double tap as well, which requires a couple more energy to do. We'll disarm this guy, so he's dealing no damage. We'll shrug it off to get another 8 block, and then we'll double tap into a bash. So we kill the front guy and we take no damage for that whole turn. Nice and easy. The final mechanic, which I actually forgot about of these enemies, is their special ability. So their special effect is that they will... Oh, I like this. Double Thunderclap to put them both on 1 attack we need to knock them out the sky. So we go... Free bash, knock them both out the sky so they can't attack me anymore, and we'll kill this one. Just because he had the extra strength. Because yeah, as I was just saying, then the mechanic of this enemy is they'll charge up their strength and then they'll gain the strength for the rest of the combat, and then they'll keep doing that. And if you don't kill them quickly, they'll get out of control pretty fast. Quickly kill that guy, get some gold. No point taking the Dex potion because, as you saw there, the Sozu flashed up and we got denied. Access denied to that potion. Take a card. Warcry, not a fan. We're not running an exhaust deck, so Sever Soul's not really applicable to what we're doing, and we just need to decide whether we want to take Body Slam or leave Body Slam. As we're looking at the minute, I would prefer to take Body Slam. When it's upgraded, it becomes a 0 cost for the attack, and it does the amount equal to your block. I should have replaced the spot weakness there. That was a mistake on my end. So if you've played this game before, if you're a bit of a seasoned veteran, or if you just have played the game before, I do apologise for the explaining. I'm trying to make these first couple of episodes a little bit more explainy and just sort of easy for people who are just picking up the game. But for all you who have played the game before, I think Ice Cream here would be pretty clutch, I'm not going to lie, with the amount of mana we're getting per turn, and we don't actually use all the mana a lot of the times. Oh. And the Ice Cream here would be pretty amazing. For those who haven't seen the Ice Cream before, it basically means that instead of losing your mana at the end of each turn, you can actually roll it over to the next turn. So you can end up getting 10 mana per turn, which is just amazing. Let's have a look. We want to disarm you, good sir. And we've got the days shuffled into the deck because of the effect he does put on us there. This is this hero's mechanic that whenever you play a non-attack card, you get a days shuffled into your deck, which is not ideal. I don't appreciate that. Now, because we've got the vulnerable going off, I'm going to pommel strike, and then, oh, nice. Yeah, pommel strike and just get that block up, so we're not taking any damage. We have to be careful we don't get too many of these days shuffled into the deck. As you, well, yeah, I was about to say, as you saw with the Sentinels, but I mean, as you can also see here, because this, I mean, I maintain that this game actually genuinely hates me, but that'll happen. Then you get a turn where you can't play any cards whatsoever, and you do get royally shafted a little bit. Again, we get the spot weakness on the turn when he's not attacking. Amazing. We'll double tap and we'll strike. Leave out the other two cards. He's not attacking, and what we're going to do is just going to increase the amount of days that's being shuffled into the deck. We haven't got lethal, not by a long way, and we haven't got any defense. At least the Metallicizer is ticking at the end of each turn as well, giving us a bit more block. Please give me the cards. Thank you. A little bit harder than I would have liked on that one. We'll take another Thunderclap. I do have a bit of a fetish for that Thunderclap card. Ah, these enemies are not very fun playing as the Ironclad. What do we want? We want to replace. What have we got actually? Oh, looks like I can't actually look at my deck at the moment. They're not attacking, so definitely want to replace these three. See what we get. Oh, I pray to you now, God of the RNG, please give us a free bash. Oh, one time he called it. He called it. We're going to play Thunderclap first, because these again have artifacts, so it's going to negate that negative debuff. Then we're going to play Thunderclap again to get this guy negative debuff, and then we're going to bash to just give him even more vulnerable, and then we're going to use a strike to get him down to 7 HP. The guy at the back is a crafty little fruity boy. He starts off with a lot of block, and he has Barricade, so that block doesn't disappear at the end of each turn. So he essentially has the card Barricade, which we can get at some point if we ever see it. And he also has 3 artifacts as well he starts out with, so we can't disarm him here. What we can do is we can attack this guy first to get him down. Then we can double tap strike and defend and only take 5 damage. And hopefully that's the only 5 damage we take, just so we can at least heal just for 1 in this fight. Looks like that's not going to happen. We will spot weakness, pommel strike for the card draw, shrug it off for more card draw, and they both do 3 because of we've been frailed at some point. So no point Sentinel, we'll Metallicize to get that 3 ticking at the end of each turn. We are taking 11. As you see, the game is starting to ramp up in difficulty a little bit, just a little bit. So we'll flex, spot weakness because you're actually attacking this game. We've got the free bash. That just makes me so happy. The image of that free bash, incredible. We will definitely bash you. Finally take off that last artifact. Once you take his block away, I mean, he's absolutely weaker than a nun's piss. Only got 20 health, but until that point, it's pretty hard to beat. If he plays as silent as the other character, he uses a lot of poison, which actually bypasses the armor completely. So this guy's actually a piece of easy work. Nice. Right, we're rolling pretty well. I mean, we've took 30 damage, which isn't brilliant. I know I keep taking those potions. There's not really much point. I just get in a habit of clicking through quite quick. I'm playing a lot slower than I am normally. Normally I just sort of click through as fast as you like, try and get those MLG speed runs going. I mean, I don't go anywhere close. I think my fastest times are about 50 minutes, but which is terrible. Just put it out there before anyone says I'm trying to like boast about how fast I am. Blood for Blood is interesting. I'm going to take it just because it's an interesting mechanic, and I think it'll make for an interesting bit of play. Not necessarily the best card to pick. Oh, it's someone you not see very much. The knowing skull. You find yourself in an old decorated chamber in the centre of the room. You find a large skull atop a ornate pedestal. As you approach, the skull bursts into flames and turns to face you. Spooky. What is it you seek? What is it you offer? In sync with the final words, the door shut behind you. Get a potion? No point. Ah, so you've got the options of lose 8 HP, lose 8 HP, lose 8 HP, get nothing and lose 8 HP. Where's the next shop? Next step. Or next room. Or next floor. Whichever one. They're called floors. Obviously there's no point getting the potion. Colours card could be nice. Although it could be terrible as well. There are a few terrible colourless cards. Although the Apotheosis is pulling me in. It's pulling me in. I'm going for it. Ah, we got Trip. That's not too bad. We'll take it. Oh, I forgot the mechanic of this one is that you can just keep clicking through as much as you want. Oh. We have got a campfire up there. We're going to go for one more. Madness. Ooh, nice. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to have to take another 8 damage to actually get out of the room itself. I think I'm going to switch tactic here. Just with taking that option, I want another campfire on top of this one we've got here. So we could take this one, and then we could take this one here. Or we could take this route and take this one up here. I think we take this path and then up to the right, because we get two campfires in pretty quick succession. Do we want to remove a card? I think we're good. I think we're good for removing the card. We'll just leave. Campfire definitely gets some healing going off, even though as much as I want to upgrade that madness, we've got to rein it in. Got to keep sensible. Ah, oh, you bugger. Could lose 22 HP. That'll put us to 38 again. We could heal again, and we've got question marks. Even though I literally just said we're going to play it safe, I'm playing it risky. Because even though I don't live by my own rules. Yeah, I think we'll take it. Ornate Fan. Every time you play 3 attacks, gain 4 block. Nice. That does fit what we want to achieve. We'll take this way. Take the chest. Take the lantern. Ooh. This energy synergy is going through the roof. I like it. Definitely a pretty fruity run so far. Actually, I wasn't expecting it to be this good for my first time recording this, but yeah, it's pretty nice. And again, we have no defense. We will take out these cards. Hope some defense. We'll definitely disarm. We've got 5 mana because of the Sozu and the Lantern. The Lantern gives you a mana at the start of on the first turn of each combat. I didn't explain that before. But that's all good. And we're gonna Pommel Strike. Draw a card. And then defend first. And then we're gonna hope. Well, Madness on either of these two, whichever one, doesn't matter which one, is incredible. And then we can Metallicize. And we're blocking for the full amount. The free double tap is literally amazing. So the Blood for Blood, I don't think I explained it before actually thinking back. It costs 1 less mana for each time you lose HP during combat, and you deal 16 damage. So if you ever take any damage, essentially you can get a free 16 damage if you take enough. Kind of like a last ditch effort kind of thing, if you are struggling. 5 times 3 coming in. We've got enough mana to play Bash, for sure. We can shrug it off, get 8 block, and we're going to try and recover the rest of the block with this as well. And I completely forgot about the Metallicize, not going to lie. So we block all of it, which is decent. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of damage there actually, so we could get the blood for blood ticking down a little bit. This is an interesting side note. The blood for blood doesn't count. The the Blood for Blood doesn't count for each HP taken off. So if you lose 10 HP in the same turn, it doesn't go down to 0. It's just each time you lose a HP. So you want to try and limit it to small amounts of HP, but say 3 or 4 times, and then you sort. I mean, if you can limit down to 1 HP on 4 turns, you'll heal a lot back as the Ironclad at the end of the turn anyway, and then you'll have a free Blood for Blood you can play for the rest of the match, which is pretty fruity. Not gonna lie. Ooh, we get Madness to try and get some block. How much have we got? We've got 4, so we can play all 4. We'll block, we'll play that, and then we'll Madness to get a free strike. Now we're going to be taking some damage this turn. Opposite to what I just said, this is not ideal in terms of the Blood for Blood. That would have dropped it by 2 because we took 2 instances of damage. Ooh, this is nice. Double tap, and we'll Pommel Strike to get 2 card draws. Then we'll Thunderclap. Get the 4 block from the Elemental Fan as well. A big part of this game I find is just actually just remembering what relics you actually have, because you can get to a point where you've got relics that go across the screen up here, and you just sort of get to a stage where you kind of just you click cards and it gets crazy. You can't actually really remember what you're playing, but or why it's happening, especially with all the effects going off. Body Slam Plus. So here's where you start to see you can actually start to get you can get plus cards from choosing the card, which is definitely nice. You get Body Slam Plus, deal damage equal to your current block, but it's no mana rather than one mana. Before you can gain 2 energy and lose 3 HP. Or Anger, which every time you play Anger, it puts another copy of Anger in your deck. So eventually you end up, if you keep playing it over and over again, you'll get like 20 Angers in your deck. It can be good or a bad thing depending on how you play in your deck. Now I'm deciding whether to take the extra 2 mana. I think we do. I think we go full ball on this mana build. What do we have? We don't have a lot of gold, so we can't get any of the relics. They're pretty average relics anyway at best. We haven't really got that strong of a strength build. I mean, we've got a flex and a spot weakness, but it's not off the wall. So heavy blade is okay, but not perfect. I am feeling the bandages, just because we just took the bloodletting, which takes off 3 HP at the end of the turn. But if we've got that bandages, we can heal it back, no problem. Oh, we are taking quite a few bit of damage. I think we keep this. We've got 5 mana, so we can play the 3 cards that I don't want to upgrade. So we'll play Shrug It Off. Oh, of course we get an extra card as well. Defend. Got the 23. We'll Body Slam. We'll Body Slam now. We'll Spot Weakness. Then we'll Madness to get that ever so juicy 0 bash, which I definitely have got feelings for, and I should probably rein it in. But I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna express my feelings for the 0 mana bash until the end of time. Double tap. Give me those 2 Thunderclaps. Give me more Thunderclap. Give me more block from the Elemental Fan. That's what I'm all about. Well, one quick topic while we're getting more into the game here. We're getting more accustomed to how this game works. Is there anyone in the audience who's watching this game for the first time? No point playing the Bloodletting. We don't need the extra mana on this turn. We'll make the Sentinel free. And we're taking a lot of damage this turn, which is not good. We're taking 15. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, has anyone watching this that has not played this game before? Who's sort of seen a bit of coverage of this and is watching this for the first time? I can't imagine very many. It's been out since about late November 2017, last year. But yeah, interesting question nonetheless. Drop a comment down below if you haven't played this before, or even if you have, let me know what your favourite run is. That sort of stuff. Bit of interaction. Oh, we're gonna have to disarm. So he's only doing 12 now. I think we've got lethal. We have. Easy lethal. Damn. I should really check how much vulnerable we've got each turn before I start playing cards. We take the flex. More strength is always good. We take the question mark to try and avoid the fight, but watch it be a fight? No, it's not. you say it is going to be, it won't be. Now this is a great relic. So this gives us a strength which lasts for the whole of combat. So we start each combat with an additional strength point. 89 out of 93. And we're fighting the warrior. Again, I've got no idea his names. The champ. The champ. I definitely need to pick up these guys' names. Again, we've got no blocks, so we... Oh no, sorry, we have got sentinel. I think we'll replace these. See what we get. So we've already got 5 mana. There's no point playing Bloodletting. We can play the sentinel, we can play the block. We'll play that. Just yeah, keep an eye out for the order you play cards in as well, just because sometimes you can play the same cards in a different order and get a vastly different effect to what you would have done. And you've probably seen again, you spotted that madness bash combination, and you know that I'm watering it for that combination. We will go Thunderclap first, then we'll strike. Pop the block not because we need to, but just because we need to get it out of the way so we can play the madness with that juicy bash, and just end up loving life really. We got the ornamental fan as well, which gave us 4 block. Unfortunately, it doesn't carry over to the next turn, so it's not really that important, but nice nonetheless. We can spot weakness and flex. We can shrug it off to just draw another card, see what we get. Ooh, do we double tap strike or do we strike defend? That'll do 26 damage. Oh, sorry, that'll do 38 damage. Or I could block for all damage. It's the final boss of this floor. So my thinking, in case you're wondering, is that we're going to heal to full at the end of this fight anyway. And in the grand scheme of things, taking that damage isn't the end of the world, and it also gets our bloodletting down as well, which gives us some free damage later on. If I'm being completely honest, we'll play these two. And then randomised. I wasn't really too bothered if we got the Metallicize or the Thunderstrike for free. Both are very strong cards. Okay, the Blood for Blood isn't that valuable yet. We want to take a little bit more damage first, as weird as that sounds. We'll bandage. Defend, and we'll strike. So we'll take 7 damage here, 9 damage even. Yeah, I do math. We'll are vulnerable, and we will double tap the Thunderclap just to make him ever so vulnerable, and we're gonna have to take 15 damage to the face. If anything, I think we're in a position now where we actually have too much mana. I mean, we're not actually playing the Bloodletting a lot of the time because we're actually in a position where we don't actually need to. So maybe we're at a point where we're good for getting any more things that increase our mana. But in terms of this turn, definitely want to be doing that Thunderclap. Definitely want to be Blood for Blooding for one mana. That is value if I've ever seen it. Value at its finest. This is his defensive stance. This is where he starts to go a bit crazy in terms of damage. I believe I think he purges some negative debuffs at some point as well, if I remember right. Yeah, there we go. So he's purged all his vulnerables. It can be really annoying if you're playing as a silent and he takes all the poison off, and that is a lot of damage. It's not the card you want to be drawing curses on. Luckily we've drawn the Shrug It Off. 0 mana bash. It's just a beautiful scene to my eyes. The defend and the other defend. And we'll get another 3. So, not as bad as it could have been, but also definitely not good. We're getting pretty low. Almost in lethal range actually. We've got 7. Definitely shrug it off. We've got 5 mana, so we've got a lot to play with. And we have got invulnerable as well. Oh, there we go. Nice and easy. That elemental fan coming in good there. I mean, we'd have blocked all of it without the element or without the fan, but it's a nice addition. And bear in mind, we are still putting down a lot of vulnerables, so we want to flex. Then we want to double tap, and double tap only double taps the attack immediately after, so we definitely want to double tap this. And I think we've got lethal, which is good, because without that lethal, that would have been game over. That would have been the run ended. So as much as I complain about this game, give me poor starting hands, it does also give us pretty good starting hands as well. Let's have a look. I mean, I know this run's going to be a long ass video, by the way, as an opening video, but hopefully they will get shorter later on. Hopefully under an hour. If they're not under an hour, I'll split them up into a couple of parts, but I want to keep these ones as is for the minute. We can exhaust a card if it's a status or a curse with 10 damage to all enemies. We have got a curse, I believe. Yeah, we've got a curse. It could work. And we've got quite a few statuses. We could get impervious, which gains 30 block, but then you exhaust the card. And Fiend Fire doesn't fit this deck really. It is a good card, but it doesn't really fit this one. I'm going to go with the Immolate. Ah. More mana. Non-boss chest. Taking the key now wouldn't be too terrible. We can't see the next run yet anyway. We're actually already at now in 2 minutes. Oh dear. Getting an extra mana and getting 2 runes in your starting pile isn't terrible. I mean, I literally just said 3 seconds ago we're at a good place of mana, but yeah, you can never have too much mana. You can never have too much mana. We probably need some additional card draw at this point. I'm gonna go with the Mark of Pain. The curses, I get scared about curses. If I'm being honest, I get to the point where I do get nervous about them. So I'm gonna start from the top. Who have we got? Oh, we've got the Donuts, Donut and Decker. And we can work our way down. I want to try and avoid a lot of elite fights on this floor. They're pretty nasty. And just try and play it safe. I do want to try and get to the final boss actually, now I've made it to the 3rd floor. You know, I was playing a bit risky before and a little bit out there. Not too much, but a little bit. I don't think we can actually avoid an elite fight on this run. No, we can't. There's one here. So, I'm going to try to take his leak. Try and take a leak. Try and take as least as possible. Or as little as possible is probably a better expression. We will go this way. Oh, these guys are annoying. These guys are not the one. Definitely replace that. Want to replace that because I'm not going to be playing that this turn. I mean, we could Immolate actually. And we could double tap that Immolate as well. So if we spot weakness, and we've got a starting 6 mana, which is just amazing. Double tap, we want to Immolate this. Ah, it doesn't play it twice. I thought I was going to try and be crafty there. I really thought that I'd play it twice, if I'm being honest with you. I never tried that before. I know, even though we didn't technically exhaust two cards, I thought that would work. Ah, well. You win some, you lose some. We will attack the middle. And we're basically at a stage now where I think we're always gonna have enough mana to play every single card in our hand. So we want to actually try and grab some card draw at some point. If my thinking's down the right line, grab some card draw. We'll make you vulnerable. Yeah. There's no point playing this because it actually exhausts itself, and we've got no cards which take any mana to use. So we've got to take 11 to the face. And lucky we got the 2 wounds on the same turn. That's a bit outrageous. We definitely want to be trying looking for the thunderclaps here. Definitely looking for those thunderclaps. We don't need the extra mana. At this point, the bloodletting is pretty useless. Not gonna lie. We really need some of that card draw. Ooh, this is a lot of damage. I feel like I've played this terribly. I regret every decision I've made so far. Okay, we can get a free strike. I feel like we want the card drawer out first. We've got 3 mana, so we can play all these 3. The free bash. Should have saved the madness. Should have saved the madness. We've got the block, which we need. Okay, nice. So I haven't actually explained that already. The unique ability of these enemies is that once they die, they don't actually die. So they'll die, and then but if you don't kill the other 2 or the other 1, depending on how many you've killed in one go, in a couple of turns they'll resurrect back up to half HP. So you need to kill all of them relatively at the same time for them to actually die. So like that one here, he's not actually dead. He's regenerating back up. You don't know what it is because it didn't tell you, but he's regenerating back up to an amount of HP. We've killed 2. Can we get this one? Yes, we can. Easy game. Oh, the inflame, but the fire breathing plus. The fire breathing plus though. This is a tough one. The fire breathing plus is upgraded already. I'm going to take the inflame. Speaking of flames, I'm probably going to get flame for that. Like I said, I'm not actually that good of a player at this game. To be fair, I've just played it a lot. Ooh, we could heal the full and lose 12 max HP. What are we looking like in terms of enemies? I don't think we need to. There is another Endler option on there, but it requires a gold idol, so we'll ignore that for now. Oh yes, we get 2 madness. We're gonna take it. We're playing risky. It's a classic rootkit move, if I'm being completely honest with you, to say at the start of the floor we're not going to be playing risky, to then only play risky. We'll remove these 2 and hopefully we can... Well, that was a move that needs to go down a hole. I was hoping for some cards we could actually use the madness on there usefully rather than getting more madnesses and block, but we can inflame, double tap, bash, and thunderclap, and give him a nice steady 7 vulnerable, but also take a buttload of damage in the process. Definitely weaken him. We need to kill him. I think we're dead. I think we're dead, boys. Oh, I can only blame myself. I can only blame myself for that. I tried to play risky. It didn't really quite work out. Tried to play a bit simpler as well. But there we are anyway. That's it. That's the end of the first episode. We've got a score of 400. It's sort of combined from these scores at the top here. Feel free to absolutely roast me down in the comment section because that was completely all my own doing. But you can catch me next time. I'll try and play a little bit more sensibly. We'll be playing as the silent, and after that run, we'll be heading into the daily challenges and some ascension mode as well. Until then, catch you next time, and have a decent day.